Hello folks, my name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. Welcome back to the newsroom, and today I have a breaking news story. This one comes courtesy of goldenstatetimes.com. It has to do with President Trump, the Trump Organization, President Trump's children, and the New York Attorney General. So it says, this comes courtesy of goldenstatetimes.com, and it says New York sues Donald Trump, his company, and family members over widespread fraud claims, and now is seeking over $250 million in penalties. So as you guys probably remember, we have been covering it for a while, pretty much since it started. The New York Attorney General is suing President Trump because she claims that Trump inflated the property values of all of his hotels and golf clubs in New York State so he can get favorable loans, so he can get better loans, better rates, but then he will put the values of those properties back down so he can pay less taxes. So that is what she's accusing him of, and now the lawsuit is here. It says New York Attorney General Letitia James on Wednesday sued President Trump, the Trump Organization, 3 of his adult children, and others for allegedly widespread fraud involving years' worth of false financial statements related to the company's business. In a 220-page civil lawsuit filed in Manhattan Supreme Court, it seeks at least $250 million in damages. And it also seeks to permanently ban Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, as serving as any type of officer in any company in New York, and permanently prohibits the Trump companies named in the suit from doing business in New York State. So Trump can no longer be an executive at any company in New York State after this. The Trump Organization can no longer hold any business in New York State if this goes through. If this is successful, not only does he have to pay $250 million, but he's also going to have to sell every single hotel, club, golf club, medium to small size hotel chains that he owns in the state of New York. So in other words, they're completely banning him from New York. Not only him, his executives and his children, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. So that's what's going on right now, folks. It's pretty crazy stuff. It says that James also said that she was referring evidence obtained in the course of the 3-year investigation to federal prosecutors in Manhattan and as well as the IRS, saying that she believed her civil investigation had found violations of federal criminal laws. So she's sending all of her documents, the New York Attorney General, to the IRS. The IRS is going to have a field day with Trump. James said that Trump massively overstated the values of his assets in statements to banks, insurance companies, and the IRS to obtain more favorable loans and insurance terms for his company, as well as to lower his tax obligations. And she said at a press conference, quote, Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars. So in other words, she's saying this guy is not a billionaire. She went on to say in a statement, quote, for far too long, powerful, wealthy people in this country have operated as if the rules do not apply to them. She went on to say, quote, Donald Trump stands out among the most egregious examples of this type of misconduct. With the help of his children and senior executives at the Trump Organization, Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and cheat the system. I think she's talking about the tax system. It says the suit alleges that, quote, the number of grossly inflated asset values is staggering, affecting most, if not all, of his real estate holdings in any given year. It says Mr. Trump, the Trump Organization, and other defendants as part of a repeated pattern and common scheme derived more than 200 false and misleading valuation of assets, included in the 11 statements covering from 2011 to 2021. So they only investigated up to that point, 2011 to 2021. They didn't even go into the early 2000s or the 90s or the 80s, because it would have been worse. It says the complaint says that Trump's personal financial statements for the periods 2011 to 2021 were fraudulent and misleading in both their composition and presentation. And that is what she's sending over to the IRS so they can investigate him. James said that Trump had falsely claimed that his apartment in Manhattan was more than triple its actual size as part of the fraud. The lawsuit says that Trump valued his MarALago club property in Palm Beach, Florida, on the false premise that it sat on an unrestricted property and could be developed for residential use, even though he allegedly knew that that asset was subject to a slew of tight restrictions. Well, that one sits in Florida. It has nothing to do with New York. The only one that can actually do something about that property would be Florida itself, which most likely won't happen, or the IRS. So that's an IRS issue. It has nothing to do with New York State or Letitia James. But Letitia James doesn't care, and she went on to say, quote, MarALago generated less than $25 million in annual revenue. It should have been valued at about $75 million, but it was actually valued at $739 million. In addition to the Trumps, the defendants in the suit include Alan Weaselberg, who acted for years as the CFO of the Trump Organization. It says both Weaselberg and the Trump Organization were criminally charged last year by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for an alleged scheme to avoid paying taxes on portions of the compensation given to company executives, among them Weaselberg. Well, Weaselberg was found out because of his former daughter-in-law. So his son was divorcing his wife, and his wife got mad, grabbed all of those documents, including Weaselberg's personal tax statements, company tax statements from the Trump Organization, financial records, and everything else. She had hundreds of files, both on a computer and also in paper. And she turned that all over to the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. That's how she got the first batch of financial records from the Trump Organization, was by Weaselberg's daughter-in-law. How she got it, who knows? I have no idea how she ended up in the possession of all of those financial records, but she did. And she turned it right into the Attorney General. The second batch, the biggest one that Letitia James got, was because she sued to get all of President Trump's financial records, IRS payments, IRS forms, and financial records from the Trump Organization through a lawsuit, which she won, and Trump had to turn it over. But that's what's going on right now, folks. That's how Weaselberg got caught. And it says other defendants in the lawsuit include Weaselberg's lieutenant, Jeffrey McKinney, as well as several Trump corporate entities and limited liability corporation that owns properties in Manhattan, Westchester County, New York, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. So it says Trump for years has blasted James for investigating his business, saying that Democrat Attorney General was motivated by political animus against a Republican former president. So that's what's going on right now, folks. President Trump is now getting sued for $250 million, which he is not going to pay a penny out of pocket. Why? Because he's going to fundraise off of this, and he's going to force you to pay for it. I have told everyone before, do not send this guy any money. Not a penny. Instead, if you're going to send him $50, $100, or whatever it's going to be, spend it on your loved ones. Take your significant other to a very nice dinner. Buy your kids or grandkids or great-great-grandkids or whatever you have, buy them a new toy out of the blue. Do a barbecue at your house. Make a memory. But whatever you do, do not give this guy any money. All the money that is being used for all of the lawyers that he has hired, which is almost 20 to 25 lawyers, an army of lawyers have been paid for by the RNC, because he hasn't paid a penny on any of the lawyers that he has right now. With all of the lawsuits going on, he has not paid one penny out of pocket. It is all coming from the RNC. Well, where does the Republican National Committee get their money to pay for Trump's lawyers? From you, that donates money to them. I can care less what you do with your money. My suggestion is, please, if you have that feeling that you need to give them $50, grab those $50 and say no. Or rather take my significant other to a really nice dinner and make that memory. If you don't want to spend it on somebody else, spend it on yourself. Buy yourself something nice. But whatever you do, do not send it to the RNC, to Trump, or to Save America, blah, blah, blah. Do not send it to them, please. It is not worth it. Make a memory. Put that money to good use by making a memory with your family, your loved ones, whoever, yourself. The money will be spent way better in that way. But let us know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, share this video on social media, and visit our website, goldenstatetimes.com. Again, that's www.goldenstatetimes.com. And let us know what you guys think. Is Trump going to end up being banned completely from New York State? Is going to have to sell Trump Tower? Because I know that's Trump's pride and joy. Trump Tower is going to have to sell it. If in fact he is successfully sued by the Attorney General, he's going to have to sell that, all of his clubs, all of his hotels, and anything else, any other business that he holds in New York State is going to have to be sold or moved. You can't move hotels, so you're going to have to sell them. But businesses, you can move them from one state to another. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. We want to know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell and visit our website, goldenstatetimes.com. If you guys missed any of our previous videos, this should be coming up on your screen. We hope that you have a blessed rest of your day, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much, folks. Peace.